the Arkansas Derby. And a good break for all the runners in the race, and there was a roar from the crowd as they left the gate. Time for Truth up on the pace. He's prominent, and there's Muth on a hold right now. These two together with 1 lap to go. Jess Steele runs in the 3rd position. Timberlake 4th. Scraping Paint approaching the turn on the heels of the leader around the turn. Informed Patriot in the 5th position early. Dymatic a little bit keen, but more settled down than in his last race. He's 2 lengths off the lead as they're pretty tightly clumped up. Mystik Dan and Liberal Arts are next. Liberal Arts has to take up here and drops towards the back of the field here. Imperial Gun alongside of him. Awkward move for Liberal Arts, who's at the back with Imperial Gun. So they're down the back stretch here. Muth on the outside, and Timberlake, Flavian Pratt lets him loose on the inside, lets it out a notch, and he's the pacemaker down the back stretch. So it is Timberlake, the Rebel winner, in front by a half length. Muth perched outside of him, hounding from the outside. Jess Steele 3rd. Time for Truth between horses. Dymatic is down on the inside. Then Informed Patriot will take at the maiden is dropped back. Mystik Dan patiently ridden. He's out of harm's way on the outside. 7 lengths off the pace. Liberal Arts trying to re-rally on the second last spot. And Imperial Guns at the back around the forward turn. There goes Muth to challenge Timberlake, and the race is on now. Muth on the outside, strides level. Timberlake back in second as Muth takes command. Muth and Juan Hernandez have a 1/4 mile more to get, and Hernandez gives him the cue to go, and Muth off the turn, still in front. Timberlake 2nd, Jess Steele 3rd, then Mystik Dan, who tries to rally on. Furlong to go. It's Muth. Jess Steele running huge in 2nd. Timberlake 3rd. Muth with a 16th to go. He's opened up by 3, and it's Muth coming down the stretch in Hot Springs to win it. Muth, the son of good magic, wins the Arkansas Derby. Jess Steele 2nd. Mystik Dan 3rd. Timberlake flattens out to 4th. Ready to go in the Southwest, and they're off. Mystik Dan broke sharply today. So did Carbone and Otto the Conqueror, his stablemate. The 2 Aspis in entrance 1-2. Otto the Conqueror has the lead. Carbone 2nd. Windstock running in the 3rd position, placed in a good stalking position, but was aggressively ridden out of the gate. Wasn't quick enough to go with the front runner, Otto the Conqueror. Jess Steele a bit keen here. Outside of Windstock, 2 lengths back to linebacker. Then comes Awesome Road. Mystik Dan was on the lead in his last couple of starts. Today he's about 6 lengths behind in midfield. He's racing with his stablemate Combat Defense. Liberal Arts is next. Charleston, the maiden, is 2nd to last, and that leaves Magic Grant to trail the field with 5 furlongs to go. Otto the Conqueror paving the way here by a half length. Carbone applying the pressure to that stablemate with a half mile left to go. A length and a half to Jess Steele in 3rd. Windstock in the 4th spot, now sent along from that position. On the inside, Mystik Dan attempts to get closer, slips inside of Windstock. Linebacker is next, trying to pass runners on the outside. He's 4 lengths behind, making a move as Windstock plummets back in the wrong direction. He's done. Liberal Arts trying to move forward inside of the weakening Windstock. He's about 6 lengths off the pace as the leaders start to line up, coming back to the lead. Jess Steele making a big move after Carbone and Otto the Conqueror. Jess Steele storms to the front. Jess Steele and Ramon Vasquez have 3/16 to go. Here comes Mystik Dan right up the rail, though, with a rail skimming ride by Brian Hernandez Jr. And Mystik Dan is turning it on in a huge effort for the Kenny McPeak barn. Mystik Dan 5-6 ahead, and he wins wrapped up. A dominant win in the Southwest. 2nd home was Jess Steele. Liberal Arts came on for 3rd, and 4th was Common Defense. Ready to go in the Smarty Jones. And they're off. Some bad crowding at the start. Gettysburg Address got the worst of it. Drops to the back of the pack after that. Laganos has speed with Mystik Dan, who's routing for the first time. Mystik Dan, Laganos, Jess Steele wants to be part of the action on the lead. Those 3 across the track. Laganos holds the inside spot. Mystik Dan on his throat latch, just a neck behind. Now a half length as Laganos is a clear leader, but Mystik Dan keeping the pressure on all the way. way. Just Steele in the third position. He's on the outside on a hold right now. Then there's a line of three. Mo Winning tugging a little bit behind the speed. The jockey trying to get him to relax. He's been passed by Informed Patriot on the inside. Fidget in the Calumet Farm colors is sixth now in the black. 4 lengths off the lead. A length and a half better than Catching Freedom. Chaperone and Gettysburg Address, after getting squeezed at the break, is last as they approach the 4-turn run. Joel Rosario lets Laganos open up a little bit here. He lets him stride out, and he's gone on to set the pace by a length and a half. Mystik Dan in the second spot. Just Steele is still third, but he's getting closer now. Mystik Dan only a neck behind. Laganos, who's still in front. Mystik Dan turning up the pressure. Just Steele is 3 wide. Informed Patriot right behind them. Catching Freedom's going to get to the outside. He's being pumped upon to get going, but swings to the extreme outside as they come off the turn. Mystik Dan, Just Steele is right there to tackle. Catching Freedom on the far outside. Informed Patriot getting bumped around at the rail. Just Steele in front. Inside Mystik Dan back to second, and Catching Freedom is finding his best stride now. And Catching Freedom and Christian Torres racing clear. He kicks off his year with 10 Kentucky Derby points. Catching Freedom over Just Steele, Informed Patriot, photo for fourth, Gettysburg Address, and Mystik Dan.
And they're off. Good start for Mystik Dan. Good start for Joe Shiesty. And Joe Shiesty a little bit quicker early. Chun Money comes through toward the inside, and now Chun Money's up to lead. Joe Shiesty slammed on the brakes briefly there. Very awkward. Back fourth toward the inside. So Chun Money's the leader heading for the far turn. Mystik Dan's right there racing in second. Flotation Station comes on 3 wide third. Joe Shiesty back into it. Fourth and toward the inside. Evan on Earth is racing in fifth. Mighty Messages now sixth. Henrose in seventh. Eusebius is eighth. Brody's in ninth. Grand Emperor at the back in 10th. Round the far turn. Chun Money down inside. Mystik Dan in between. Flotation Station. Here comes Evan on Earth revving up with a wide sweeping run as they come off the turn. Mystik Dan takes the lead. Top of the stretch. Gets away by 2.5. Chun Money comes off the rail fighting on. Evan on Earth. Flotation Station. Eusebius is there, but there's a 16th to go, and Mystik Dan has kicked away in a big way. Mystik Dan rambles home to win it by 7 on the wire. Good battle for second. Might have gone to Eusebius over Evan on Earth.
Ready for the dirt mile. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, and Vickers in Trouble gets ahead of Golden Sense from the beginning, and Rafael Bejarano wants the lead, and he's going to go to a drive on the inside to get it. But Vickers in Trouble is right with him, and Pants on Fire will settle into third as they go along at a speedy early pace. And then toward the inside, racing in fourth position, is Fed Biz. And then comes Tapiture to the outside. Break up 2 to Big Bane Theory. And then comes Carve, followed by Bronzo and Golden Ticket. The opening quarter mile, 22 flat, just like last year. That same early fraction set by Golden Sense. But he's being pressed this year by Vickers in Trouble. And he's only a half length behind, and he's making Golden Sense do some work up the backstretch. And they have moved away about 7 lengths ahead of the others. Pants on Fire is next. Carve is alongside of him, and Tapiture splits those two. Rosina Pravnik going up in between horses here, 7 lengths off the lead, past a 44, and